Um, Looking at religion and spirituality, their role to counseling, that's an issue that we are coming back, which really was our starting point. First, the concept of spirituality and religion tend to overlap and are often used interchangeably. While religion can be defined as an organized belief system that includes shared and institutionalized moral values, beliefs about God, and involvement in religious community, and spirituality is defined as an internal set of values, a sense of meaning, inner wholeness, and connection with others. Spirituality brings a sense of compassion for others and the desire to contribute to the good of others. And while religion is best understood in terms of social level experience, spirituality is visibly seen as an individual level experience. In both cases, they aid counseling services as they both bring a sense of empathy, understanding, compassion. Number two, it is a regrettable thing to note that most counseling psychologists have little training in dealing with religious and spiritual issues. In other words, they don't know the critical role that religion and spirituality plays to counseling. Now, there are so many people doing counseling and some even claim to be atheists. They fail to know the importance of religion to their counseling services, how it would aid and help them even become better counselors. That's a mistake. Counseling, considering that these two concepts, you may talk of religion and spirituality, that these two concepts are related and often overlapping, counselors are likely to see varying degrees of either in clients. Now, religion and spirituality have therapeutic value in the extent that its incorporation helps counselors to support clients connecting to others. It helps clients to move outside of themselves and contribute to their common good. Indeed, those who hold religious beliefs also participate in positive social relations as well as social and community service activities. Further, those who are religiously inclined, hence spiritual, tend to seek involvement in personal growth activities, creative activities, and knowledge building activities. Clearly, counseling psychologists or psychotherapists who recognize the role of religion in clients' lives are better able to encourage those positive pursuits, contributing to the overall health of clients. Now, looking at the other section, religion and stress management. Now, religion and spirituality are critically important in stress management as they positively aid the stressed person to cope within turbulent waters. Indeed, one's level of religiosity or spirituality or the lack thereof is critically important in the way one responds to stressful moments. And why is this the case? Now, religiosity and or spirituality provides individuals with a greater sense of control over situations and eventually helps the stressed person to build self-esteem. So you see the idea of self-esteem comes back when you bring religion. For example, when people say, we are children of God, we are sons and daughters of God, that's psyching, they are psyched to build self-esteem through that belief, that bit of spirituality and religiosity. Now let's look at sense of community and identity. Now, religious institutions such as churches and mosques provide a sense of community and identity, which are critical in managing stress and depression. In turn, communality and identity are critical in psyching the individual to feel loved, to feel owned, to feel a sense of belonging, as opposed to being or feeling isolated, abandoned, and in a state of destitution. Besides this, other religious spiritual resources in managing stress and depression include prayer, solitary activities or meditations, faith in God, and guidance from clerics or pastors or bishops or spiritual people providing spiritual oversight, which are representative of the spiritual, of the cognitive, behavioral, and social aspect of faith. Coming to religious spirituality and economy, we say that religion and spirituality plays a very impactful role across economic lines. Now, in his 2008 researches, Felix Sebastian Koch, a New Zealand psychologist, noted that religiosity is a health resource for those whose income is below the national average. He noted that clients with psychiatric diagnosis reported religion as a source of comfort and strength that provides resources that helps in coping under stress. Hence, it increases social support and gives a sense of being complete, being fulfilled among low-income earners. The other one is healthy identities. Now, individuals who have a healthy spiritual identity heal at faster rates and are able to establish healthier lifestyles. In fact, people who are spiritually healthy, they live longer. From my own as an individual assessment, they live longer. That's a debate for another day. We may ask why. There are many things. First, they have character. And when you have character, you know your limitation. You don't go fighting the crowds. You don't go throwing bottles, shooting one another in the social gathering. You know, you have character. When you have character, you live longer. So, healthy identities are brought about by religion and spirituality. So it ends in coping. It ends in counseling psychology. A healthy spiritual identity involves feeling connected to God's love, feeling self-worth, having meaning and purpose in life, and being better able to fulfill one's greatest potential. Now, in a study done by Graham and his company in 2001, counseling students who were religious and spiritual had greater overall health than those who were only spiritual, indicating that institutionalized beliefs, morals, values, and community are more connected to health than spiritual practice alone. Now, involvement in religion has also been found to reduce the likelihood of disability in adults who live in community settings in some circumstances, suggesting religiosity may play a role in helping people cope with physical disabilities. Now, the other one is religion and spirituality as essential for healing. Religion and spirituality as essential for healing. These scholars who have authored the book together, Rose, Westfeld, and Ansley, in 2001, in their research, they surveyed 74 individuals who were receiving counseling and found that 55% of them wanted to discuss religious/spiritual issues. Why? Because they believed religion and spirituality were essential for healing and growth. That's 27%. The other one were personally important, 22%, personally important. That's the findings. Was central to human personality, behavior, and worldview. That is 15%. Were relevant to problems, 5%. So you can see how religion and spirituality has been related. Some of the respondents felt that their preference would change throughout different contexts, indicated by 22% of respondents reporting that their preference in discussing religion and or spirituality was dependent on other factors such as relevance to problems, that's 10%, only if it was spiritual issues but not religious, that's 8%, or depending on the qualities of the counselors, that's 5%. The other one is counselors should be skilled in religious spiritual matters. Now, in 1999, the Association of Spiritual, Ethical, and Religious Values in Counseling released 9 competencies that counseling professionals should be adequately trained in. They said, first, counselors should be skilled in the ability to explain the meanings of the one's spirituality and religion, including ways that the two concepts differ and overlap. Second, counselors are expected to describe beliefs and practices from cultural context. Third, they held that counselors must be of high standard of sensitivity to one client. Fourth, counselors must be knowledgeable regarding models of religious or spiritual development across the lifespan. Fifth, counselors are required to demonstrate an acceptance of religious or spiritual expressions in communication. Sixth, counselors must be aware of their limits in competence and understanding. Okay, seventh, counselors must assess the importance of religion to therapeutic issues or to counseling issues. Eighth, counselors must be receptive to religious and spiritual themes. Last, according to clients' preferences, counselors must be religious or spiritual beliefs to one reaching goals in counseling. So you can see how researchers are shown you cannot draw spirituality and religion if you are doing counseling. That marks the end of the lesson today. Thank you very much.